So I promised you an update, and here it is. But you're going to have to stick around and watch the full video to find out the outcome. First, I have some quick thoughts for you. I've always said that life is made up of seasons. When I was in my late 20s and into my early 30s, I had this great season when I lived in LA. I was single, had my own apartment, had quite the grand adventure of a life. It was fantastic. And while I was in that season, I was alone and I was lonely. And I had complete freedom and I could do anything I wanted at any time, and I had nobody to answer to. So in so many ways, there were all these amazing things that went with that season. But again, there was this loneliness, this sadness that was a part of that season as well. And what I tried to do when I was in that season was aware that this is one moment in my life, and someday it'll change. And then it did. Life changed, as it does. My mom got cancer and life shifted. And then after we got my mom through cancer in 2009, then I met my ex-husband and I have this beautiful daughter, and it was amazing. And then life changed again. And it does, and it does, and it does, and it repeats itself over and over. And with each season, there are these amazing blessings that are the things you will look back on and reminisce about, and you will be like, oh my gosh, that was the most amazing thing ever. And most of the time, you will forget the bad parts. But while you're living it, those bad parts can be the things that eat away at you. Those are the things that we have to take captive of. We have to be really good at taking captive those bad things and not focusing or fixating or meditating or fill in the blank word that you would choose. But don't stay in it. See the good things, embrace the good things, and dismiss the bad. And if those bad things are showing you things that you need to change in your life, take action and do something about it. That's what I've been reminded of this week as I walk through this unknowing season. I'm in a brief season, I declare in the name of Jesus, that I'm in this brief season of unknowing, where I feel great and I go for a routine appointment. For those of you who are unaware of what is happening here, I went for my first mammogram. I got called back in for an ultrasound, which they said was normal. And then, surprise, I get to have a biopsy. So right now I'm living this season of not knowing what that means, not knowing what it means to me, not knowing what it means to my family, not knowing what the process will be, not knowing anything, but knowing that I feel great and that I don't feel like I have cancer. And I declare in the name of Jesus that I don't have cancer, and that no matter what, He is the King and He is in charge. And that I trust Him. That's the no matter what there. That's not the point of this. The point of this is, how do you embrace those temporary seasons, those seasons that last a little bit longer, but even those brief seasons where you may have to go a month of not knowing something? How do you do that? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know. But I do have an idea about it. And my idea is that you embrace that moment just as I have embraced every other season of my life. I embrace this moment because there are gifts to be found in this moment of not knowing. And I am determined to find those gifts. One of the best gifts that I've been given in the last week is seeing the people in my life that I love and adore rise up and meet me. And not just meet me, reach out to me. Not just reach out to me, see what they can do and check in and see if there's anything that they can do to make my life better in this moment of unknowing. I am so blessed. That is a blessing. I see people's true hearts. I also get to evaluate myself and remember how in the last couple of weeks I've been talking about fortification? Hello! Maybe there's a reason it was hanging around in my head. So again, I rechecked in with, how do I need to fortify myself? And with that, I did make some adjustments. There was It's a story. The point is I made an adjustment and I chose that I didn't need somebody in my life. And that was amazing unto itself. There's all these blessings if you choose to take it in the unknowing. So what I share with you today is I still don't know. There's been some hiccups with getting everything put together. We've gotten almost everything done. There's one last thing from one last doctor that they have to have signed off, and they'll have everything they need to proceed. But my mammo navigator, she's a rock star. And she's like, let's just get you on the books because I know I'm going to get that piece of paper. She's like, and we're a couple weeks out. So November 5th will be my biopsy. So if you are a praying person, please pray. Please pray for benign so we can all yell bingo! And also that it goes smoothly and with a quick recovery. So that is where I am. 3 to 5 days later, I will know. And when I know, you will know. And until then, I am determined to embrace this moment. I am determined to embrace the blessings of this moment. I encourage you to take an accounting of what season you are in. If you are in the season where everything is flowing and it's positive and wonderful, ride that wave and embrace it fully. If you're somewhere in the middle where I tend to live, embrace the good stuff. Get rid of the bad stuff. And if you're struggling, I want you to remember that even in the struggle, there are so many blessings. Sometimes we just have to look a little bit harder. One of the simplest ways to see it, if you're having problems seeing what those blessings are, is to sit down and write the 5 things that you are grateful for. We've kind of had a hard year around here, and it's been a hard season for my daughter. And with her, I made her for about 3 months. I made her sit down and do this every night. And I made her write it. I wouldn't let her tell me because I wanted her to consciously look at what it was. So I offer you that as an option, that if you're struggling to find the goodness in your day in the midst of the hardness, sit down and find 5 things that you are thankful for. It can be as simple as I got up, I showered, I brushed my teeth, I brushed my hair, and I ate today. And sometimes that may be the best you can do. Other times it may be that I went to the store, I had enough money to pay the bills. I mean, fill in the blank. There's so many things it could be. I love my dog. I took my dog for a walk today and I met the love of my life. No, I'm just kidding. Whatever it is, write it down and embrace it fully. Because the more we can focus on the good things in our life, somehow the hard moments, somehow the moments of not knowing become so much easier. Thank you for coming. I hope that you have been filled, that you go out into the world and that you overflow completely. Let's change the world.